and welcome ethereal seekers, light workers, warriors, lovers, and wherever you are, whoever you are, 1111, let's walk together through the portal of life. Today I want to discuss, is the yin and the yin, are they good and evil? Now, I know for centuries it's been talked about quite a bit about this alignment and this imbalance. Is the male naturally bringing in the light in the yang? And the yin, is it dark? Is that evil in a sense? Now, I'm here to, elaborate on my exploration, from my experience, and the things that I have witnessed through this, influx of energies of within our energetic body, which I strongly believe that every part of your chakras have a level of vibrational frequency, which carries both of those components, dark and light. Now, not dark as in evil, but the dark that is not manifested within the auric sphere of that chakra, for example. And what I mean is, light is only something that's conscious. The unconscious is the dark element. And what flows in that nature, in that way, sometimes can be a little bit, kind of hard to comprehend. So with that influx, now I heard a lot of signs, a lot of opinions. And so what I want to say, put out and share is that when you have this component of a flow, a vibration, right? Nice vibration, which is a beautiful thing, but also it comes with a lot more things that's kind of not yet been explained in a sense for you to comprehend. So you have to comprehend within you, which goes into the non-manifested, the yin energy. We know females like to have this element of protection, and protection is a real critical component. It's not really protection, but it's more or less about security of what they have to offer, an actual energy that speaks of the yin. Now, when it becomes in a sense of an imbalance of, if you feed in your purpose of that security in that part of your chakra, for example, say let's start with the root chakra, and you want your root chakra to be in the space of, I want to protect this within me, and that's the female energy. And I'm not saying this as a female archetype, but the female element of that chakra is the yin. So I'm saying I want to protect that before having it exposed and, to, a venture or someone. And you will go about this by feeding it. And when I say feed, I mean as in energetically giving it. If you give it fear, for example, if you give it fear, that if you allow yourself to be open in that way, secure in that way, something bad may happen, or something may not go the way that you would like it to go. Sometimes it can be blockages from the past, lives, or doing the aspect and things that you experienced that may have given you an influx of an insecurity. A lot of times we communicate in such a energetic way. And so if that root chakra has that imbalance, and you're feeding it with that consistency of that fear of, if I open up with my root on my planning, on my purpose, on my ideas, it may bring about more chaotic things that I'm not ready to prepare for, or I'm not trying to prepare for, and you give it more fear-based. Now, if you feed that same yin energy, right? Imagine you feeding it more, fueling it with some love, right? Say, okay, I'm not quite sure what would happen if I decide to embark on my journey with my root chakra using my yin energy, which is preservance. It's a beautiful preservance. It's very divinely guided, right? And you give it that love. And I'm not sure, but I'm going to go ahead and take a step out on faith. And that preservance itself imagine you have things coming left to right, synchronicities happening, and guess what happened? Like, damn, it's things that seem to be aligned with that initial, endeavor that I just embarked on. So now you see that, damn, I should do more of this more often. So that can help balance off and help build, not only balance, but help build a momentum through your yang vibrational energy in that root chakra to give it that trust. That trust in a sense. So you build a relationship with that when you embark on your journey. Things will seem to come about in steps and pieces, but it'll be very important to use it. So that's one element, which I feel as if is not evil nor good. Yin and yang is not, but I do believe dark and light is very, it go hand in hand. It go hand in hand. You have to have those things. It's like light can't light can't just be light. It had to have dark corresponding. Because even seeds grow in the dark. You can pull a tree right out. If that seed and that root's still there, it's going to grow back. And because it's preservance of life. So dark is preserving your light. Even when you think you have reached a certain pinnacle, it's still preserving your light. So that's something I really want to get out there, because I feel like and evil is not dark, and not everything that seems light is always positive. Now, what I mean by that is, this one here haven't really been discussed by many, but I want to offer this opinion. And what I'm saying is, once a person has imagine you have a person that's very forceful, right? A very forceful energy, and that person already been a little out of balance. Say with yang in his sacral chakra, and and that yang in that energy is very aggressive. Say it's a she as well. It don't really matter what male or female. It doesn't really matter. Archetypes are archetypes, but energetically speaking, we all carry these things within us. Anyway, and that way of going about your wants is very, in your face. Like, I want it, I need it right now. Like, and the influence that you have on your sacral energy is that if you're not in that space of aggression, because I'm pretty sure at one point when you wasn't aggressive, you didn't get the results that you desired, right? And so it turns to this influx of a desire energy, more of an ego energy, right? And when that happens, you give it that force. And force can be a very beautiful thing, but you're feeding it with fear, afraid of what you didn't receive before. So that fear-based energy can accumulate after a while, right? And once it accumulates, and once you go at it in such a rah, 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 and you're going to get some things, you're going to receive some things of that nature that you may think you needed, that's not going to really feel fulfilling, but in that same notion, you keep on keeping on, as if you know where to stop. But you drain your energy, you drain sometimes, but you still going to go up and say, well, I have to do this like this, and because of the lack energy that you never received before, of not being in that nature. Now, if in that same notion, when that energy evolves, when it knows that it's doing harm to others, it lost all compassion, for example, of how it directly affects the next individual energy. And when a person can tell you, this has affected me, and you like, I know what I want, this is going to make me feel good, that's a narcissist energy, vibration, which takes on the archetype of a narcissist, which is another entity in a sense. Because once you have that kind of acceptance within your world, that only thing really matters if I get what I want, disregarding everyone else and everything else as if it doesn't pertain to you, because you are the only one that really matters in your life. So that energy itself is very controlling, but also is not controlling anything. It's actually more afraid of being open and not having that energy upon them, that compassion. So if you're feeding that consistently, after a while, sometimes they evolve. You realize they ain't getting the results they need. It's too obvious that they're very, chaotic and aggressive with their nature, so people are not giving them what they normally once gave them, because they always become taken over. Once it gets from the sacral to the, and it converts to the solar plexus and the heart chakra. When it gets to the point that you're taking this aggressive nature throughout all your chakras, they're imbalanced. It's like a ricochet effect. It gets too contagious, and if you don't stop it, it turns into something more complex, which it know how to show itself more intelligently speaking. Like, I'm gonna use compassion, the way to get you to do what I want you to do. I'm gonna tell you, you know what? This is for your best interest. I don't think you should be doing that. I see you doing something better with your time and your life. You know why? And that's, that's them. Like people like myself and the light workers and the ones that's in the nation with a good intuition see right through the, I see it. I'm not gonna get off my path because you have a prestige or a mission, and you be kind of, you always can tell who they be. They're so consistent and persistent with it. It threw everything at you. It even give you ideas to go find something different. Go find this. Go do that instead. And you know which ones that really mean well, because you can feel it. And the ones that don't really mean well, you can see in their eyes, they really can't stand your guts. And that's the ones that take on a more evolution level of that, entity of being not only at one point they're aggressive and obvious what they were at one point, now they're more taking an approach like intelligent, very manipulative. Now that's a huge difference from being influential. So understanding the difference is a big thing, so they'll use every kind of tactic against you, so be prepared for that. Once again, that is the way that I've seen people evolve, on that level of being aggressive, and then all of a sudden they become more of, intellectuals, and they want to help you so much, and soon as you offer them something in a sense of help, they can't receive that at all. It's like, oh no, like really? How you don't see right through me? Like, nah, I'm not taking that from you. I can't. Because that goes against their real purpose, their real nature. Not real nature, but their real motive behind it. What they were offering you. And so they don't expect you to still be open to giving, because they're really not giving you anything. They're just trying to get you off your track. So they really don't want any reciprocation. You see the difference? The ones that really want to tell you something, they really mean well, they think that's what you really should do. When you offer them an idea, they're gonna be open to it, because that's reciprocation. Because guess what? A balance and real intentful balance, aligned chakras, and that yin and yang, it's gonna have a flow of reciprocation. So that's the opposite side down. And if I can have that with an individual, or even with myself in any shape or form, it's going to have an influx of imbalance. It's going to show. And so it's okay to have that, but it's really, made and created for us to be aware and to acknowledge that. Now that can become evil if you keep on a certain way. And you know that you're doing something, and it's out of fear, but you feed and fear to the point that fear becomes your whole world. It becomes so heavy that after a while, that trust in you, that trust in that, because think about it, when fear takes over, think about it, if you have a heart chakra, right, and the person overly indulged on forcing their way, and using force is a beautiful thing. You can use force and feed it with love and be getting, you feel abundant just by feeling it, by the intent and that having that in that space. It's a great feeling. But when you come feed it with fear, and you think you're doing something because the intellect says this is correct, also wants to say that, and you had, either it can be a soul contract, you have something you have to complete with this one individual or something, or a past life issue. What you're doing is, if you're not aware of it, and you keep doubling down on that energy again, what happens is you will be so imbalanced. You're talking about imbalance that would ultimately take you from that, because that force is actually a yin energy, and the yin, which is that trust and perseverance. So if you're forcing with only fear, the trust from your energetic chakra spirit is going to eventually break apart. So you feel more detached from yourself on top of it, because that trust that you normally would have by giving yourself a little dose of love here and there. But if you're overly forcing something with too much fear, what happens is you're gonna linger off in that mindset. See, that mindset is on being tunnel vision. It's a tunnel vision in this ego, and the ego don't quite know you, and we call that the devil energy. People say, well, I would say it is existence where a healthy ego is wanted and needed, but also is a place where people, in my opinion, gets too attached from it. And I'm not gonna name, okay, for example, when people go to the space of I'm so preservant, so not my ego, and it's a spiritual community, and I get it, but it's like you taking something that was given to you to be a funnel. So you take it as if I'm not in my ego to the point that I'm conscious of what I'm not doing. You're giving light to what you're trying to do. It's a more of an intellect approach. It's not a feeling approach of showing a heightenedness of awareness. And awareness is conscious, but it's not intellect. Awareness is, you can be aware of things from a distance. You can be aware of something that happened when you wasn't, even there. So what I want to say is, before we dabble into that realm of speaking about the, that's detached, that's health, ego is bad, let's do actual projection, which is a great experience. I have been there. But I think it's about integration. It's not about separating yourself from anything, especially your ego. You have to embrace every part of you to be whole. Mind, body, spirit, And so if you're going to take away the mind, because the mind is not for you, you're letting go of responsibility. Even though the mind just don't operate in this, dimension, but also, once again, you're letting go of something that's a part of you. And if you don't want any responsibility from it and accountability of it, the seem omnipresent. I'm such in the moment. I'm not here, but guess what? I'm here at the same time. It's like, you're still using your intellect, so you're still in your mind. So anyway, that right there can get you so further off from your yang, and so you may have more yin, preserving that energy of, oh, I know, but I can't say I am, but I'm gonna say am and be in that present moment. But when you eat that food, okay, I bet you want to eat something I like, so you're gonna be aware of that. So I just think that, you know, it's good to have be noble, be gracious, but also, you know, it's okay to use assertiveness and be persistent on what is for you. The ego is not bad nor good. None of it is bad or good, yin or yin. But it's good to give each part of yourself, which is a lot of self, the proper attention and love throughout your whole energetic sphere. And till then, seekers, light workers, warriors, lovers, be well, be gracious. Talk to you soon.